Clayton Kershaw has surgery and wants to pitch again. The Galaxy let Chicharito walk, assuming his knee can handle it. And the Clippers are impressed with James Harden's first workout. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is November 4th, 2023. It's a pretty decent looking morning out here in Salt Lake City. I'll be on my way to work in a couple of moments. But we're going to start the day off right by talking some LA sports. And if you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment, because I try to get back to each and every one of you guys. I like hearing from you. Before we go through the news and notes and look at the scoreboard, there were no games involving LA teams last night. Hope you had a very lovely Friday. Hope you didn't get too drunk. Hope you wore protection. Now, as for today's games, this is a good slate. I'm digging it. We have 23rd ranked UCLA is at Arizona at 7:30. There has been talk claiming that the UCLA offense is stagnant. I'm not so sure. Ethan Garbers has completed 72.7% of his passes in the last two games and also has compiled 509 passing yards in two games. That's not bad. That's not too shabby at all. Meanwhile, over at the Coliseum, 5th ranked Washington is against number 24th ranked USC at 4:30. This is a hell of a matchup. You have the top two passers in the country going against each other this afternoon. And by the way, Caleb Williams is at number 1. It's Washington's Michael Penix Jr. He's got 2,945 yards. Williams, 2,646. The Lakers are at Orlando at 3. The following Lakers are out: Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, and Gabe Vincent. And the Kings are at Philadelphia at 4:30. The Kings, they remain undefeated on the road at 5-0. Now, there's always good news and bad news in life, right? Life is a mixed bag. So with that in mind, I want to give you an update on Clayton Kershaw. And let's go with the good news first. He wants to pitch again. That's good news. Yeah. Here's the bad news. He had shoulder surgery. So there's that. He had multiple ligaments to repair the joint inside the shoulder. He's going to be out probably until at least the summer. And oh, by the way, he did not say he wants to pitch for the Dodgers again. He probably does. But he's always been linked with the Texas Rangers. And last time I checked, they were having a little victory parade around Arlington. It was kind of a ridiculous little parade around Arlington because let's be real, if you're not wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey, nobody cares about you in Dallas, right? That was just a bunch of fair weather fanning going on out there. If you want to be around real baseball fans, you stay in LA. But Kershaw's a Texan. So he does want to pitch. We just don't know where the hell it's going to be. And by the way, the Dodgers, you're saying, well, okay, maybe it is time to move on. He's had shoulder surgery. Can we really expect him to be anything like he's been through his entire career once you come back from that? Well, the Dodgers, Andrew Friedman said he'd, quote, absolutely, unquote, want Kershaw back, which is kind of, as the kids say, obvi. But again, we're not getting a real clue from Kershaw now as to where he wants to pitch. So there's that. The Dodgers also took a little action yesterday. They declined the option on Lynn's contract option for 2024. He's coming off the worst season of his career, which has been pretty good up until last year. He allowed a major league worst 44 home runs. So yeah, picking up the option would probably be $18 million not well spent, wouldn't you say? If you're wondering, though, the Dodgers' rotation right now consists of Walker Buehler, coming off of 2 Tommy John surgeries, Bobby Miller, and I don't know. So if you really look at it from that perspective, The reason the Dodgers probably declined the option is they're trying to save a little money and basically say, we'll have you back, but not at $18 million. The Galaxy have announced that Chicharito will not return to the team next year. It's not a big surprise. His contract would be up in a little while. He'll be a so-called free agent. And besides that, he tore the anterior cruciate ligament in his knee in June. And he's 35. Now, he's played 4 seasons in LA, but the Galaxy missed MLS Cup playoffs out of 3 of the 4 seasons that he was there. His time in LA, you see, because I've been starting it off and it makes it sound like I'm about to disrespect the poor guy, and I don't want to do that. I honestly believe that Chicharito's tenure was indicative of the latter years of the Chris Klein era of incompetence. See, there's no other way to say it, in my opinion, because Chicharito was signed as a direct replacement for the incomparable Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And it was, you could understand why he was a replacement. If you're looking at it from the Galaxy's perspective, or more specifically, Chris Klein's perspective back then, you're sitting there going, well, we signed a guy from the Premier League, an absolute international legend in Zlatan. He lit MLS on fire the 2 years he was here, sold us a bunch of jerseys. He was basically, with the exception of David Beckham, soccer's version of the Beatles in the United States, right? So why can't we replicate that with the all-time leading scorer in Mexico soccer history? Sell a lot of jerseys, sell a lot of tickets, score a lot of goals. And Chicharito did come with a pedigree. He absolutely did. He's not just Mexico's leading scorer. He played for Manchester United. He played for Real Madrid. So there was a lot of reasons to believe that you could literally, like a widget, plug in that hole with a different widget. Here's the problem. Chicharito and Zlatan were completely different types of players. Zlatan, by force of will, could create his own shot. Chicharito needed good passing to score, which meant that you had to build a team around him. And Chris Klein was completely incapable of doing that. Not all scorers are alike. And so Chicharito, God love him, the dude tried his best. He did score. He just didn't score on the level that Zlatan Ibrahimovic did. Zlatan scored more goals in 2 years than Chicharito did in 4. And of course, once you hit your mid-30s and you're trying to act like you can still hang with the 20-year-olds on the athletic field, the pitch, good luck trying to do that. Good luck. The only times that Chicharito was really getting a taste of what we really thought we could get out of him was when he teamed up with Ricky Puig for half a year, 2 years ago. So, what does that mean for Chicharito? I don't know. I'd like to see him at least finish his career on some sort of a high note. Maybe he goes back to Liga MX. As for the Galaxy, they now have 2 open designated player spots if they choose to use them. If they choose to use them. There's a trend in MLS to try to actually build a team instead of just lavishing money on a foreign superstar. So, this is going to be the question now that Chris Klein no longer runs the Galaxy. What path do they choose? There have been rumors about a new striker coming in. I'm just not sure I believe them. So that's why I'm not trying to tell you about them. We try not to deal in rumors here. But one more thing. He actually enjoyed playing for the Galaxy, and I honestly think he did try his absolute best. So if you're a Galaxy fan, shake his hand. Respect him out the door. The Clippers coach Tyronn Lue said that James Harden looked, quote, really good, unquote, in his first practice with the team on Wednesday. Quote, his shape was better than I thought it would be, he told the LA Times, which is great, but we're still getting mixed reviews. Now look, you've seen me, if you've watched this channel at all, talk about James Harden, about why I don't think this is a particularly wise move for the Clippers. But we try to provide some sort of balance here. This is not a hot take channel. So we want to give you as complete a picture as possible. The LA Times, I mentioned earlier this week, they tracked down some scouts who actually thought that it could work. The Athletic then tracked down some other scouts who said different things as well. For example, quote, "If the goal is a championship, I don't know. It seems like it adds more of what they already have, scoring and ball handling. It will certainly lead to a lot of regular season wins," unquote. This is from one anonymous scout. That particular scout also said that, quote, "Harden wanted to come to LA to get paid. And if you think I'm cynical," another scout said that this deal is a good idea because it provides insurance for the inevitable Kawhi Leonard or Paul George injury. But a third scout, he was pretty harsh. Quote, "Honestly, I don't know if James fits anywhere, like any team," unquote. There's also the complaint people had about Russell Westbrook when he was with the Lakers. That popped up again. In other words, you couldn't have Russell Westbrook on the floor at the same time as LeBron James back when Westbrook was a Laker. There is a belief that you cannot have Russell Westbrook and James Harden on the floor for the same time with the Clippers. Same problem. They can't. The whole prospect of who gets the ball, who shares the ball. Remember, we mentioned this yesterday. James Harden had the ball number 2 out of every player in the NBA. He had the ball most. The only other player with the ball more was Luka Doncic. And you can understand why Luka Doncic has the ball every single play. James Harden, though, not now. Not now. Rams coach Sean McVay said Matthew Stafford is, quote, "making good progress," unquote, being able to grip a football. As such, he is a game time decision. Look, this is the little drama that gets played so often during the course of a football season. Somebody gets hurt, and then it's like it's literally like a dime store novel about, ooh, maybe they will play, maybe they won't. Here's our little cliffhanger. My gut tells me Stafford's playing. I just can't tell you that's a certainty. Freshman center Andy Mara of UCLA basketball. He is the crown jewel of the UCLA recruiting class. He has been cleared now to play by the NCAA. Now, Mara is from Spain. UCLA, by the way, they took 4 players internationally to rebuild their roster on the fly. Mara is 7'3". He was just dominating in European leagues. He is considered as a lottery pick next year, so he's probably going to be one and done. But again, he could play. He's probably a reason, or the reason, that the Bruins are not simply going to face plant this year, as a lot of people have projected. But hey, good news for the Bruins. What is awkward news, though, regarding the Bruins is that Pasadena police have proof now that tip lines work. And I'm not talking basketball this time, I'm talking about the football team. The Pasadena police have recovered some of the jewelry stolen from Colorado's locker room last week at the Rose Bowl. Now, the suspects are juveniles. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm glad that some of the players got some of their stuff back. That's true, because stealing is wrong. It just is. But wearing bling in front of 70,000 complete strangers is effing stupid. Can we just get back to that point? Wearing thousands of dollars worth of jewelry in front of 70,000 complete strangers is literally the equivalent of asking to get kicked in the testicles. Why would you do that? Why? There's a reason that that at the Oscars that they have to walk down a red carpet. It's not just for the photography. It's to keep the thieves away. There's security there. But, have you ever noticed, why do celebrities who show up to Laker games dress like you and I do? Why? They don't wear their bling. It's because they don't want to get jacked. Jack Nicholson literally has enough money to be escorted to his front row seat on a golden chariot with trailed by 3 women pouring baby oil down their chest and rubbing themselves, sprinkling rose petals in front of his feet, and he doesn't do it. You know why? He doesn't want to get jacked. Use your head, Colorado. Use your head. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about what your memories of Chicharito Hernandez will be with the Galaxy. And tell me if you think Clayton Kershaw is on his way to Texas or if he's staying with LA. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Can Cortel Queso production. Take care.